Hey kids, this book is called Libby, Wimbley, Bug Rescuer. Libby, Wimbley, Bug Rescuer. Chapter 1, The Log Roll. It was Sunday afternoon. Libby Wimbley and her best friend Becca planned to ride bikes, but first they had to look for bugs to finish their nature detective worksheet. If they didn't, their science teacher would be as mad as one of the hornets they'd studied in class. "Where should we look, Libby?" Becca asked. She stared at Libby through a magnifying glass. The lens made Becca look like a giant housefly. "Maybe behind the barn?" Libby said. "I'll bet bugs love the shade trees there." Soon the girls found a log lying on the ground. "Every bug on our list is probably under there," Libby said. Libby and Becca rolled the log over. Damp, dark dirt lay beneath it. Tiny insects zigzagged in all directions. "There's a balled up roly-poly," Libby said. "Real name, pillbug." "Check!" Becca marked it off their worksheet. "And there's a millipede. Look at all of those legs," Libby said. Becca made another check mark. "That's all of the bugs here. Let's look somewhere else." "Hang on," Libby said. "First, let's roll the bugs log home, back where we found it." "Good idea," Becca agreed. Chapter 2, One More Bug. Once they were finished, Libby asked, "How many bugs do we have left to find?" "Only 2 more," Becca said. "We're almost done." "Yes!" Libby pumped her fists into the air. "Bikes, here we come!" Becca and Libby walked farther along the path. Sweet-smelling wild roses grew in a thicket nearby. "Flowers attract bugs," Libby said. Sure enough, fuzzy yellow and black striped insects buzzed around the pink petals. "Bees!" Becca scanned their worksheet and smiled. "Check!" Libby looked around. We only have to find 1 more bug, then we're finished." "How about butterflies?" Becca asked. "They're on our list." "Lucky for us, my mom planted milkweed in her flower garden. It attracts monarch butterflies," Libby said. "I'll race you there," Becca said, zooming back toward the house. Chapter 3, A Sticky Web. Becca was a fast runner. She ran ahead and waited for Libby on the log that rolled over earlier. Libby sat beside Becca. "Are mosquitoes on our list? I hear one buzzing around." Becca leaned over to swat it away. "Uh-oh," she said, looking past Libby. "What?" Libby turned to look too. "You're sitting next to a..." Becca began. "A spider web!" The girls screamed at the same time. Libby's dad ran from the barn. "What's going on?" he asked. Then he joked. "Did you see a bear?" "No bears here, Dad," Libby laughed. Becca laughed too. "And no spiders either," she said. "This is an old web. The spider doesn't live here anymore." "But look," Libby pointed to the sticky strands. The web was moving. It wasn't the spider's home now, but a bug was stuck. "What is it?" Becca asked. Libby took a closer look. "It's a dragonfly," she said. "We have to set it free." Chapter 4, Set Free. Dad shook his head. "I don't think we can help the dragonfly, Libby." "But we have to try," Libby said. Please, Mr. Wimbley, Becca said. Dad handed Libby a pair of gloves. Here, he said, put these on first. But remember, this may not work. Okay, Libby said, sliding her hands into the gloves. Dad and Becca held the web still while Libby set to work. Libby gently pulled on the web. First, she untangled one set of glossy wings, then the other. They flapped up and down. There, Libby said. Now the dragonfly can move its wings. Becca nodded. But you still have to release its legs. Be careful, Dad said. Untangling the legs wasn't easy. There were 6 of them, and they were tiny. Libby was gentle. She was very careful too, just like Dad said. Before long, the dragonfly wasn't trapped in the spider web anymore. Now it was free. Yay, Libby! Becca smiled. So did Dad. And Libby smiled too. The dragonfly was cupped safely inside her hands. Chapter 5. A New Home. Becca frowned. Libby, why aren't you letting the dragonfly go? I will, Libby said, but not here. This isn't a good dragonfly home. It isn't? Becca asked. Libby shook her head. Dragonflies like water and plants to rest on, and a place to catch bugs for food, she said. Then Libby thought for a second. I know the perfect spot. Follow me. They took the path down to the pond. Other dragonflies flitted above the still green water. Cattails and tall, thin reeds grew around the edge. Other bugs lived at the pond too. Welcome to your new home, Libby said. She opened her hands. The dragonfly flapped its wings. Then it flew away. Becca said, I think it likes it here. Me too, Libby smiled. Libby and Becca checked the last bug, a dragonfly, off their science worksheet. You know, being a nature detective is fun, Libby said, but there's something even better. Becca looked surprised. What's that? Being a bug rescuer, Libby laughed. Let's see if more bugs need our help. Libby and Becca paddled off into the afternoon sunshine. The end. Libby Wimbley, Bug Rescuer. Bye-bye, kids.